while I was in New York at the UN, we met up again with Mikhail Saakashvili, the colourful, turbulent, in fact, president of Georgia, a thorn in the flesh of Russia and a thorn in the flesh of anyone really who annoys him. It's a great joy to have you with us again. Thank you for...
It's always great for me.
And how are things going in the relationship, the love relationship with Russia at the moment?
Well, look, there are two levels of this relation. On the one hand, the Russian government does not recognize our borders, does not recognize our government, does not recognize even ceasefire agreement they themselves brokered. Indeed, they've been very violent. Yesterday there was a thing published of how President Sarkozy described Putin yelling at him like for half an hour how much he wanted to hang me. However, this is one level of relationship when we have 20% of our territory occupied, we have almost half a million people not able to go back to their homes because Russian leadership decided that that's no longer their houses. That's like that. But on the other, it's a fascination right here, man, because there are lots of Russians coming to Georgia. We have hundreds of thousands this year coming. We actually made it visa-free travel for southern regions of Russia unilaterally. It's impossible for Georgians almost to get to Russia, but lots of Russians can come in Georgia, most of them without visa. And actually what happens is that if you look very carefully at what Moscow elite says, at the Russian bloggers, the way how they're excited when they come into a country which was just as it could get a few years ago, and suddenly it's looking, despite the fact that we don't have oil and gas like they have, it's looking way better than they. You know, just 5 days ago, 6 days ago in Poland, I was a few days ago in Poland, and there was this Russian professor who told me, these days we admire you like we used to admire in Cold War times America and West Germany. And I told him, well, if we really place for you America and Germany, you should really be in trouble. But that's a genuine feeling of many Russians right now. So as you rightly said, it's love and hate.
Right, right. And that's very interesting. But we read also that you've had some local riots and so on in Georgia, some discontented homes.
Look, Georgian government right now has 70% approval. It stands very high. And we had, from time to time, like every democracy, there are some people expressing genuine discontent. What we had most recently, however, it was something that was directly financed by Russians without even hiding it. It was like their thing. As a result, it didn't really have, it wasn't homegrown, didn't really receive much of support. And these people showed up at our National Day celebration, 20th anniversary, and said, just won't allow you to have rally, to have military parade, because that's how we think. And actually that was an unlucky incident. But I think what happened is that the way we handled it, it was unfortunate, but it only boosted the government standing right now. But on the other hand, we have strong parliamentary opposition. We have different pluralist views on the media. You know, we are trashed from time to time everywhere, all over Georgia media, and we are used to it. And that's exactly why Georgia is, in a way, we are building this kind of democracy at a gunpoint. You know, gun is at our head. This guy, which calls gun, a big guy, he wants us killed, and still we are continuing. We are continuing to move on and to build full-fledged democracy. We don't want to shout wolf, saying, "Oh, they have gun at our head, so let's stop thinking about something positive and let's just concentrate. It's no time to have dissent." No, it's time for everything. It's a full-fledged democracy. People argue. They also can hate the government.
So what about the future, though, Mikhail? I mean, the situation is that your second term is supposed to be your last term in terms of the Constitution, but with the Constitution having changing a bit, I mean, is there a chance that you would carry on rather like Putin? No, your hero, Mr. Putin, and you would continue as Prime Minister.
By definition,
would you do that?
By definition, Georgia can have no Putin, because first of all, there are several differences with Russia which are immense. We are democracy, we are free media, we have very vibrant, real opposition, not the fake ones, and you know the way how we are lambasted every day, the way how we have to fight every day for our political survival, even if the government is pretty popular, it's amazing. So this is none of this greenhouse conditions that our friend Vladimir has back there. A. B. I think the point here is that Putin didn't need to be prime minister. I mean, basically under Russian constitution, prime minister doesn't mean much. he behaves like a Tsar. He was basically he was doing this anyway, even and putting president under him. Even if president could have fired him any moment and had all the power before him. What we'll have in Georgia is a complex parliamentary European system, and I don't believe in personality-based power. I don't believe in, putting yourself ahead, above the country and thinking that, without you everybody would lose. I don't believe in that. Of course, I would like to play some role, but that's not up to me to decide it. And certainly, as I said, there can be no concentration of power anymore in Georgia anyway. So any position right now after this presidency ahead would look much less comfortable, much less sexy for anybody. So it's not kind of Russian type of situation.
That's very clear. But you haven't absolutely said you would never ever take on the job of Prime Minister. You've left a little smidgen of an opening.
Sir David, I mean, you don't want to be talking to a lame duck right now. No. We are a country that has to carry amazing reforms, and it's like even in America being a lame duck looks ugly. In Georgia, it can be fatal.
And we've got the love story between, on the one hand, Georgia, and on the other hand, Ukraine as well.
Yes.
We can watch that as well. Thank you so much. It's always so good to see you.
It's a great honor to be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.